Have you ever felt swamped by tough choices or found it hard to make sense of life's hurdles? If so, the audiobook Think Sharp, Developing Critical Thinking Habits, is here to help you sharpen your thinking skills. This guide will teach you how to observe with clarity, ask the right questions, and make confident decisions. By mastering these habits, you can easily navigate the complexities of life, improve your decision-making, and reach your full potential. Don't let unclear thinking hold you back. A clearer, more assertive future is just around the corner. Before we dive deeper, I encourage you to grab the free bundle, which includes the ebook version and a concise summary of each chapter with key takeaways. Research shows that interacting with content in various formats boosts learning and retention, so don't miss out. Click the first link in the description to claim your free bundle today. It's available at no cost for a limited time, so secure yours while you can. Chapter 1. Let's begin with a shift in mindset. The human brain is an incredible tool with amazing capabilities in reasoning, creativity, and problem solving. However, many of us limit ourselves by falling into rigid thinking patterns, making it tough to adapt to new challenges or handle complicated situations. But imagine being able to tap into the full potential of your mind. Picture cultivating a mindset that doesn't just endure challenges but flourishes because of them. This journey into critical thinking starts not with rigid rules or step-by-step methods, but with a transformative change in how we view our own thinking abilities. Welcome to the initial step towards honing sharper, more effective thought processes. The idea of a growth mindset, introduced by psychologist Carol Dweck, is fundamental to this evolution. It's a straightforward yet powerful notion. Our skills, including critical thinking, aren't fixed traits. Instead, they are capabilities that can be cultivated with effort and practice. This is in stark contrast to a fixed mindset, which believes our intellectual strengths are set in stone and unchangeable. Embracing a growth mindset opens the door to a realm of possibilities. It encourages us to see challenges not as threats to our intelligence, but as chances for personal development and learning. When faced with difficult issues or situations, this perspective can transform how we respond. When we come across a new idea that feels challenging or difficult, instead of pulling back or feeling defeated, we should embrace it. These instances can be viewed as opportunities to strengthen our cognitive abilities and broaden our skills. Think for a moment about how this change in mindset could influence your critical thinking approach. Rather than shying away from complex topics out of fear of failing, you might find yourself diving in with enthusiasm. Each effort, regardless of its outcome, becomes a building block towards sharper thinking. The frustration that comes when we don't grasp something right away shifts from being a discouraging hurdle into an intriguing puzzle waiting to be tackled. So, how do we start to foster this way of thinking? It all begins with awareness. Tune into your internal monologue when you face tough challenges. Do you find yourself saying things like, "I'm not good at this," or "This is just too challenging for me"? These thoughts are indicative of a fixed mindset. Recognizing these statements is the first step toward altering them. Instead of saying, "I can't figure this out," try reframing it to, "I can't figure this out yet." Adding "yet" introduces the idea that success is possible in the future and reminds you that your current struggles are not permanent. This small shift in phrasing can lead to a big leap in attitude. As you dive deeper into this book, you'll discover various strategies and techniques for critical thinking. Approach each new method with the belief that improvement is within reach. Don't be deterred if it feels clumsy or ineffective at the start. Practice is what leads to mastery. With each attempt, your brain is literally reshaping itself, forging new neural connections that make critical thinking feel more intuitive over time. One of the most impactful benefits of fostering a growth mindset is how it transforms our approach to setbacks. Mistakes and incorrect conclusions are bound to happen. In a fixed mindset, these blunders can feel like proof of our limitations. However, with a growth mindset, they turn into essential learning moments. Each mistake is an opportunity to refine our thought processes, identify flaws in our reasoning, and emerge even more competent. Embracing challenges is another vital part of a growth mindset. As you explore the ideas in this book, you may come across concepts or exercises that push your boundaries. Instead of retreating, lean into these discomforts. Instead of avoiding challenges, embrace them. It's during those tough times that we experience the most meaningful growth. Just like a muscle, your brain strengthens when it's really challenged. Sticking with it is essential on this path. Developing critical thinking isn't an overnight process. There will be moments when progress feels sluggish or when you doubt your improvement. This is where adopting a growth mindset becomes invaluable. If you believe that you can enhance your skills through persistent effort, you'll be able to move past those frustrating plateaus. Every time you confront a challenge, you're not just tackling that particular issue, you're also boosting your overall capacity for critical thinking. As you nurture this mindset, you might find its influence reaching areas beyond just your thinking skills. You could become more receptive to feedback, take on new challenges in both your personal and work life, and exhibit greater resilience when faced with setbacks. That's the beauty of the growth mindset. Its core ideas of embracing challenges, pushing through difficulties, and recognizing that effort leads to mastery are applicable in all walks of life. As you finish this book, you'll gain a strong grasp of the principles of a growth mindset and their relevance to critical thinking. You will start noticing when you slip into fixed mindset thinking and have the tools to redirect your thoughts more effectively. More importantly, you'll begin applying this mindset to the critical thinking exercises in the upcoming chapters. But this journey is just getting started. The lasting impact of the growth mindset unfolds over time. With consistent practice and application of these principles, you will likely find yourself more resilient when confronted with intellectual hurdles. Problems that once appeared daunting will turn into exciting challenges to tackle. You'll find yourself more eager to dive into complex concepts and better equipped to navigate them. Your critical thinking skills will show remarkable improvement. This goes beyond just gathering knowledge. It's about transforming how you think. You'll sharpen your ability to analyze information, identify logical fallacies, and construct strong arguments. In the later sections of this book, we'll delve into concepts that will become second nature to you, blending effortlessly into your way of thinking. Cultivating critical thinking habits is a journey that never truly ends, with a growth mindset serving as the driving force behind this ongoing development. This transformative approach elevates the process from a mere task to an exhilarating, lifelong quest of intellectual discovery. As we wrap up this chapter, let's emphasize the significance of adopting a growth mindset as a vital initial step in nurturing critical thinking abilities. This shift in perspective lays the groundwork for everything that lies ahead. Without it, the techniques and strategies discussed in future chapters may feel uninviting or may even be set aside at the first sign of struggle. Conversely, with a solid growth mindset in place, every new idea becomes a springboard for growth, and every obstacle transforms into a valuable chance to enhance your skills. The structure of this book is thoughtfully designed to build upon this foundation, gradually presenting more sophisticated critical thinking techniques. By kicking off with the mindset transformation, we set you up to embrace each new concept with curiosity and resolve. This structured progression fosters steady skill development and strengthening, enabling you to gain both confidence and competence at a comfortable pace. As you move on to the next chapter, keep in mind that you're not just diving into critical thinking, you're starting a transformative journey to redefine how you think about your own thinking. The path ahead is rich with intriguing insights and challenges that will inspire growth in ways you may not yet envision. Are you prepared to view the world through a fresh lens, to dig deeper and discover hidden truths? Before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe to Grow to the Top and turn on notifications for more self-improvement strategies that will elevate your path. A thumbs up and sharing this with your friends would also help our community thrive. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2. Observe closely. Have you ever noticed how some people pick up on details that others might completely overlook? What allows exceptional detectives, scientists, or artists to spot nuances that escape the average eye? The key isn't some extraordinary talent, it's a skill that can be honed, the art of close observation. In this chapter, we'll dive into how sharpening your ability to notice details can significantly enrich your critical thinking prowess. But what exactly does that entail? What does it really mean to observe closely? It goes beyond mere looking. It involves fully seeing, hearing, and experiencing our surroundings with a sharper perspective. Pause for a moment and think about the last time you strolled along a street you know well. How much did you genuinely take in? Were you aware of the cracks in the pavement, the intricate designs of the buildings, or the gradual shifts in the scenery? It's likely that unless you were intentionally focused, much of what you passed went unnoticed in a haze of familiarity. This is a common occurrence due to the way our brains handle information. We're constantly bombarded by sensory signals, and over time, our minds have adapted to filter out what they consider unimportant. While this capability helps us manage daily life efficiently, it can also pose challenges for critical thinking. Observing is the cornerstone of thoughtful analysis. It sets the stage for gathering precise information about any situation, challenge, or concept. Without careful observation, our analyses and conclusions may rest on unstable foundations. By sharpening our observational skills, we can better grasp complicated scenarios, enabling clearer and more comprehensive thinking. However, observation isn't confined to what we can see. It involves all our senses and even abstract ideas. It's about being fully engaged and mindful of the world around us, whether we're inspecting a physical item, listening in on a lecture, or mulling over a concept. The strength of our perception has the capacity to influence how we interpret reality. Consider two people looking at the same event. They might emerge with entirely distinct viewpoints based on their observations. This brings us to the idea of attentional focus, the mental process that enables us to concentrate on certain elements of our environment while disregarding others. Think of it as a spotlight that shines on particular areas, leaving other parts in the shadows. By mastering and directing this focus, we can train ourselves to recognize details that typically go unnoticed. Picture yourself in a bustling room. At first, the noise might blend into a monotonous hum, but if you shift your attention, you can distinguish separate conversations, the clinking of glasses, or the gentle whir of the air conditioning. This principle applies equally to visual observation and abstract thought. Learning to be detail-oriented is a skill that can certainly be developed through practice. Improving your observational skills requires deliberate practice and a conscious effort to focus your attention. It's all too easy for our brains to overlook details we deem familiar or unimportant. However, as you cultivate this ability, you'll discover a treasure trove of previously unnoticed nuances in your everyday life. So, how do we sharpen our observation skills? There are several techniques at our disposal. One highly effective approach is active listening. This goes beyond simply hearing what someone is saying. It involves fully immersing yourself in the conversation. Pay attention to not just the words, but also the speaker's tone, body language, and the overall context. The aim is to listen with the purpose of truly understanding, rather than just preparing your response. Visual scanning is another technique that can greatly enhance your observation capabilities. This method consists of carefully analyzing a scene or object by breaking it down into smaller parts, instead of relying on an overall, hasty impression. Artists commonly employ this strategy when sketching from real life, but it's useful in various contexts where attention to detail is critical. As we apply these methods, we transition from simple observation to gaining real insights. This shift highlights the immense value that close observation and critical thinking can offer. For example, if you notice that a coworker's typically tidy desk is cluttered, they're speaking faster than usual, and frequently glancing at their watch, you might start to piece together that they are experiencing stress or a time crunch. Such insights, gleaned from careful observation, can greatly enhance your interactions and decisions. However, it's essential to avoid making hasty judgments based on limited observations. The key is to gather as much information as you can before reaching any conclusions. This is where critical thinking is vital, helping to balance our instinct to jump to quick assessments. To truly cultivate the habit of close observation, it's important to include practical exercises in your daily life. One effective practice is taking mindful walks. During these strolls, focus sharply on everything around you. What can you see, hear, smell, or feel? Strive to identify details you may have missed in familiar surroundings. Another helpful tool is maintaining an observation journal. Regularly jot down thorough descriptions of objects, scenes, or experiences. This exercise will encourage you to be more attentive and engaged with the world around you, refining your ability to observe keenly. Be as detailed and precise as you can. Over time, you'll likely find that your ability to notice and remember details improves. As you apply these techniques, you'll see your observational skills grow. Initially, you may just notice that you're more aware of the little things in your day-to-day life. You might start picking up on subtle hints during conversations or spotting fascinating elements in your surroundings that you hadn't noticed before. As your skills develop, you'll find that you can connect the dots between seemingly unrelated details, leading to a richer understanding of complicated situations. This heightened ability to observe will sharpen your thinking. With consistent practice and commitment, you can reach a level where noticing and interpreting intricate details becomes second nature. You'll start to automatically catch things that others might miss, giving you a real edge in problem-solving, decision-making, and critical analysis. However, it's important to recognize that honing this skill can come with challenges. One common issue is missing vital information because of distractions in our fast-paced, information-saturated world. It can be tough to maintain focused attention. To overcome this, make a habit of practicing focused observation techniques. Regularly set aside time to eliminate distractions and engage in mindful observation. Keep in mind that the aim isn't to notice every single detail at all times. Attempting that could be overwhelming and impractical. Instead, the goal is to learn how to focus your attention accurately and effectively when it matters. This is about training your mind to be a powerful tool for gathering and processing information. As we wrap up this section, think about how mastering close observation could shift your perspective. How might it bolster your understanding of complicated matters, aid in problem solving, or help you appreciate your surroundings? The potential of perception is immense, and by sharpening this skill, you're arming yourself with a vital instrument for more refined thinking. Yet remember, observation is only the first step. As you progress, you'll uncover how this foundational skill interacts with other aspects of critical thinking. In this chapter, we'll uncover how honing our observational skills and mastering the art of asking insightful questions can transform our approach to problem solving. Get ready to jump into an exploration of how curiosity and inquiry reshape our comprehension of the world around us. Have you ever noticed that certain individuals seem to effortlessly cut through confusion to get to the essence of any issue? They have a remarkable ability to peel away the layers, revealing insights that often evade others. What's their secret sauce? Contrary to what you might think, it's not some mystical gift or extraordinary talent. It's a skill within reach of everyone, and it starts with just 3 little letters: WHY. As we dive into this chapter, we will focus on the significant impact of asking questions, particularly the right ones at the right moments and in the right ways. This is not about casual curiosity or overwhelming someone with endless questions. It's about fostering a mindset that digs deep, challenges our preconceptions, and uncovers underlying truths. Consider the last time you accepted something without question. Maybe a news article, a colleague's reasoning, or even a belief you've held for years. Did you take a moment to probe further? Did you seek to understand the reasons or motivations behind those assumptions? If you didn't, you're certainly not alone. Our brains tend to favor efficiency, often opting for quick conclusions to save mental energy, which unfortunately leads us to overlook deeper knowledge and critical insights. That's where the power of why becomes essential. By continually asking this seemingly simple yet profound question, we unlock opportunities for deeper analysis and comprehension. It encourages us to look past the surface, to question our assumptions, and to hunt for the root causes rather than settling for superficial explanations. So why should this be a priority for sharpening our thinking skills? The essence of critical thinking lies in analyzing, evaluating, and synthesizing information. It's about moving beyond the mere acceptance of facts to explore their meanings, implications, and interconnections. By nurturing the habit of asking why, we train our minds to engage more meaningfully with information, pursuing connections and foundational principles that might remain obscured otherwise. Moreover, this investigative mindset protects us from the pitfalls of accepting shallow answers. In today's world, we're overwhelmed with a flood of information, much of which is oversimplified or even distorted. Now more than ever, the ability to dig deeper is essential. It helps us tell apart true comprehension from mere familiarity and separates genuine knowledge from shallow trivia. This inquisitive approach isn't new. It traces back to the ancient Socratic method, named after the Greek thinker Socrates. This technique revolves around asking insightful questions to provoke critical thought and shed light on complex ideas. Socrates posited that the journey to true knowledge doesn't involve blindly accepting what we're told, but rigorously questioning those ideas. The essence of the Socratic method may seem straightforward. It starts with recognizing that we don't have all the answers, that our understanding has gaps and can be mistaken. From this humble acknowledgement, we engage in a careful process of questioning. Each inquiry is intended to clarify concepts, challenge our assumptions, and delve into the implications of our thoughts. Although this method began in the context of ancient philosophical discussions, its relevance in modern critical thinking is far-reaching. In education, for example, it encourages students to explore subjects more deeply instead of just memorizing facts. In the business world, it plays a vital role in problem-solving by getting to the heart of issues. Moreover, in personal growth, this technique can serve as a powerful means of self-examination and advancement. So, how can we cultivate a questioning mindset in our everyday lives? It all starts with understanding the different kinds of probing questions, each tailored to a specific purpose. Some questions aim to clarify, for instance, what do you mean by that? Others confront assumptions, asking, is that always the case? There are also questions that delve into reasoning, such as, what evidence supports that idea? The goal is to progress beyond basic yes or no questions to those that evoke deeper contemplation and analysis. Instead of asking, is this a good idea? We might inquire, what standards are we using to assess this idea? Rather than simply seeking agreement with, do you agree? We could explore, what might the consequences of this viewpoint be? Timing and context play a crucial role in effective questioning. There's a delicate balance in knowing when to probe further and when to pull back. In some scenarios, quick decisions are essential, leaving little room for thorough analysis, while in other cases, relentless questioning might come off as aggressive or disruptive. Mastering this skill involves understanding the right moments to delve deeper into discussions. To foster deeper investigation and encourage discussions that promote openness instead of defensiveness, one effective method for getting to the heart of an issue is the 5 whys technique. This approach involves asking why multiple times, typically 5, to peel back the layers of a problem and discover its fundamental cause. Each response serves as the foundation for the next question, creating a linked series of inquiries that reveal a more profound understanding. For example, if we're trying to analyze a complicated issue, we would start by asking ourselves why it's happening. Based on the answer we receive, we'd pose another why question related to that response. By continually digging deeper with each successive question, we gradually uncover the root of the matter. This method is remarkably effective in moving past superficial explanations and spotlighting underlying factors that may not be immediately obvious. To really adopt this questioning approach, it's important to practice it regularly. A useful exercise is to challenge your thinking on common beliefs or daily situations. Ask why we adhere to specific social standards or why certain practices are the norm in your field. By scrutinizing assumptions that we often overlook, we can gain valuable insights and perhaps highlight areas ripe for improvement or innovation. Another fruitful exercise is to engage in group discussions using a method known as Socratic questioning. This can be done in a structured study group or more casually with friends or colleagues. Members take turns sharing their viewpoints, while others ask probing questions, diving deeper into the subject at hand. This not only sharpens your questioning abilities, but also exposes you to a variety of perspectives and ideas. As you cultivate this habit of inquiry, you'll likely experience several benefits. Initially, you'll become more skilled at asking meaningful and thought-provoking questions, which can greatly enhance your capacity to gather information and navigate complex situations. With consistent practice, your analytical skills will improve, enabling you to break down intricate issues, pinpoint underlying elements, and synthesize information from different sources. This heightened analytical prowess can be applied in many areas of life, whether in your professional environment or in personal decision-making. Ultimately, embracing this questioning mindset can transform you into an expert at uncovering deeper truths. You'll find that you can instinctively dive deeper into issues and uncover the core of what matters. This doesn't guarantee that you'll have all the answers right away, but you will possess the skills to seek a more profound comprehension consistently. However, mastering this ability does come with its own set of challenges. A common trap is the inclination to pose questions that are either trivial or off-topic. It's easy to get caught up in asking just for the sake of it, which doesn't really contribute to a broader understanding. To steer clear of this pitfall, keep your focus on why your questions matter. Always consider, what am I aiming to learn, and how does this inquiry contribute to that goal? Another hurdle lies in the fact that consistent questioning might be viewed as confrontational in some cultural or work environments. It's crucial to remain aware of these dynamics and to frame your inquiries in a way that feels more supportive than opposing. The aim should be to cultivate open discussions and enhance comprehension, not to push others into a defensive position. As we wrap up this section, reflect on how cultivating a habit of asking why could transform your mindset toward problem solving and enrich your conversations. Think about how it could alter your grasp of intricate topics or shift your view of the world. The impact of questioning is extensive, and by refining this ability, you're arming yourself with an essential tool for more precise and insightful thought. Yet questioning is only one element of a broader skill set. As we move ahead, we'll explore how this curious attitude interacts with other critical thinking abilities. What unfolds when we merge thoughtful questioning with sharp observation? How might this reshape our recognition of patterns and relationships in our environment? As we transition into the next chapter, get ready to discover the underlying frameworks that inform our understanding and decision-making processes. Chapter 3: Analyze Patterns. Have you ever been impressed by individuals who seem to intuitively foresee trends or unravel challenging problems with ease? It's as if they can spot hidden connections that escape most of us, guiding them smoothly through the intricacies of life. What if I told you this knack isn't just some magical talent, but rather a skill that can be nurtured and developed? Let's dive into this chapter and explore how we can uncover these abilities together. Let's dive into a crucial element of how we think, one that, when mastered, can significantly boost your critical thinking skills. This ability sits at the crossroads of observation, analysis, and prediction, enabling us to navigate the vast amount of information flooding our lives. Recall the last time you faced a tricky problem or sifted through a heap of data. Did you feel daunted by the abundance of details? Were you at a loss trying to connect the dots? If that resonates with you, you're in good company. In today's world, where we're constantly hit with information, making sense of it all can feel overwhelming without the right strategies. This is where the magic of pattern analysis comes into play. At its essence, pattern recognition is about spotting regularities, trends, or connections among seemingly chaotic or unrelated data. It's a core part of how we comprehend and interpret the world. By honing this skill, we can become better at predicting outcomes, making links between ideas, and tackling complicated issues. So, why is cultivating this ability so crucial for sharp thinking? The answer lies in our increasingly intricate, data-driven environment. Every day, we encounter situations that demand we analyze large volumes of information, spot trends, and forecast results, be it in business, science, or our daily lives. Being adept at recognizing and analyzing patterns gives us a competitive edge. Additionally, mastering pattern analysis enriches our overall problem-solving and analytical capabilities. It trains our minds to dig deeper than the surface and uncover hidden structures and relationships. This level of insight often leads to more creative solutions and precise predictions. To grasp the true strength of pattern recognition, we must explore how it works in our minds. Our brains are hardwired to seek patterns, a fundamental survival trait that developed over countless generations. When we come across new information, our brains instinctively try to integrate it into existing patterns or create new ones, which helps us process and understand things more effectively. However, not all patterns are the same. Some stand out clearly, while others are more nuanced and require careful consideration to uncover. Recognizing the various types of patterns in information is essential for sharpening our analytical skills. When it comes to skills, we often encounter various types of patterns. First, there are temporal patterns, which relate to sequences and trends that develop over time. Then we have spatial patterns, focused on how objects or data points are arranged in either physical or conceptual spaces. Lastly, logical patterns highlight the relationships between ideas or concepts. By learning to identify and differentiate these pattern types, we can gain a deeper understanding of the information around us. So how can we spot and analyze these patterns effectively? There are several strategies that can sharpen our pattern recognition abilities. One highly effective method is data visualization. By using graphs, charts, and other visual tools, we can uncover patterns that might be hidden in raw numbers. Another crucial technique is trend identification, which involves tracking consistent changes or movements in data over time. Recognizing trends not only helps us anticipate future outcomes, but also aids in understanding the factors influencing those changes. As we refine our pattern recognition skills, we can transition from merely spotting patterns to employing them for predictive insights. This is where the true strength of pattern analysis shines, especially in critical thinking. Through inferential reasoning, we can leverage the patterns we observe to make informed predictions about future events or unnoticed relationships. However, it's essential to tread carefully in this process. A common trap is overgeneralization, believing that a pattern seen in one scenario will apply universally. Always remember, correlation doesn't equate to causation, and some patterns may be mere coincidences rather than significant insights. To build a strong habit of pattern analysis, incorporating practical exercises into your daily routine is vital. One effective strategy is to regularly sift through data sets to uncover hidden patterns, whether they be financial records, scientific data, or even the everyday patterns in your life. Challenge yourself to dig deeper to find subtle trends and relationships. Another useful exercise is to create mind maps to visualize connections. Start with a central idea or challenge, and then branch out into related concepts or factors. As your mind map grows, look for common themes, surprising links, or potential causal relationships. This visual technique can often highlight patterns that may not be immediately apparent. As you engage with these techniques, you'll likely notice improvements in your ability to recognize patterns. Initially, this might mean becoming better at spotting straightforward patterns in data or various situations. Just this improvement alone can be quite beneficial, enabling you to identify trends or connections that may have previously gone unnoticed. With more practice, you'll likely sharpen your ability to predict outcomes based on the patterns you observe. This skill in forecasting can prove invaluable in making decisions, solving problems, and planning strategically. You may find that you can foresee possible outcomes or challenges simply by picking up on subtle signals or trends. As you reach a higher level of mastery, you'll gain the capacity to extract profound insights from intricate data sets. This means not only recognizing patterns, but also grasping their implications, potential causes, and larger contexts. At this advanced stage, pattern analysis transforms into a dynamic tool for innovation and creative thinking. However, developing this skill does come with its own set of challenges. A major risk is the possibility of misreading patterns due to our inherent biases. Our minds tend to favor patterns that reinforce our pre-existing beliefs, which can result in us detecting significant patterns where none exist or neglecting those that contradict our views. To mitigate this, it's essential to approach pattern analysis with a mindset open to new ideas. Actively seek out diverse data and viewpoints. Test your initial interpretations by exploring different explanations or contradictory data. The objective should not be to uncover patterns that validate what you already think, but to reveal authentic insights that broaden your understanding. Another potential pitfall is depending too heavily on historical patterns to forecast future events. While past patterns can provide useful insights, it's vital to recognize that situations change and new elements can disrupt established trends. Always consider the surrounding context and the possibility of change when relying on patterns for predictions. As you wrap up this chapter, think about how this developing skill in pattern analysis could transform your approach to problem solving and decision making. How might it improve your ability to navigate complex situations, anticipate challenges, or reveal opportunities that others might overlook? The potential of pattern recognition is extensive, and by fine-tuning this skill, you can harness its power to great effect. By mastering this skill, you're equipping yourself with a vital tool that sharpens your thinking and brings greater insights. However, understanding patterns is just one aspect of the larger picture. As you progress, you'll see how this analytical ability works in conjunction with other critical thinking methods. Consider what happens when you merge pattern recognition with the capacity to question your own beliefs. How might this shift the way you tackle challenges and search for solutions? As we dive into the upcoming chapter, get ready to uncover the hidden influences that mold our thought processes. Recognizing these forces can significantly amplify our critical thinking capabilities. Chapter 5. Confronting Bias. Have you ever pondered why two smart individuals can view the same facts and arrive at completely different conclusions? Or why decisions you've made seem obviously flawed when reflected upon later? The answer lies not in intelligence or knowledge, but in subtle, pervasive influences that shape our thinking in ways we often overlook. In this chapter, we will investigate a crucial element of thought processes that can either enhance or hinder our ability to reason effectively and make sound decisions. This component of cognition operates largely outside of our conscious awareness, subtly influencing our perceptions, judgments, and choices. Reflect for a moment on your most recent important decision. Did you analyze the evidence impartially, or were you inclined to favor information that aligned with your pre-existing beliefs while disregarding opposing views? If you're like most people, you probably experienced the latter scenario on some level. This serves as just one indication of how our minds can mislead us, even when we think we're being rational. The human brain is a remarkable entity, able to handle immense amounts of information and make complex decisions in mere moments. However, this incredible efficiency has its downsides. To manage the overwhelming flow of information we face every day, our brains have developed cognitive shortcuts. These heuristics enable us to make rapid judgments and decisions without delving deeply into each piece of information. While these shortcuts can be advantageous, they can also mislead us, prompting us to overlook critical details, rush to conclusions, or rely on faulty reasoning. These systematic mistakes can hinder our decision-making process. Cognitive biases play a significant role in how we think, and understanding and addressing them is essential for improving our critical thinking skills. Why is this so important? Because these biases can warp our judgment and perception, leading us to make misguided choices, misinterpret data, and reach faulty conclusions. By identifying and countering these biases, we can cultivate a clearer, more impartial approach to thinking critically. So what are these cognitive biases? They come in various shapes and sizes, each impacting our thoughts in unique ways. Take confirmation bias, for example. It's our natural inclination to look for information that supports what we already believe, often disregarding evidence that contradicts our views. Then there's the availability heuristic, which leads us to overvalue events that readily come to mind, whether because they're memorable or frequently discussed. Another common bias is the anchoring bias, where we place too much emphasis on the first piece of information we encounter when making decisions. These are just a sampling of the numerous biases that affect our thought processes, and each one can have serious repercussions on how we make decisions. They can steer us toward reckless financial moves, skew our perception of risks, or result in incorrect judgments about others and various situations. In some cases, the fallout from biased thinking can be quite severe, influencing not just individual choices, but also the dynamics of entire organizations and societies. How can we start addressing these persistent biases? The first step is to cultivate self-awareness. It's often trickier than it sounds because our biases are deeply rooted, making them hard to detect without intentional effort. One effective method for self-assessment is to consistently question your own assumptions and beliefs. When you catch yourself forming a strong opinion or deciding on a matter, take a moment to pause and reflect. What evidence supports my viewpoint? Am I considering all aspects of the issue, or only those that align with my pre-existing beliefs? Have I overlooked any alternative explanations or viewpoints? Another valuable approach to enhance self-awareness is to invite feedback from others. Often, those around us can spot our biases more easily than we can see them ourselves. By actively seeking out diverse opinions and being open to constructive criticism, we can gain important insights into our own thinking habits and recognize potential blind spots. Once we become more aware of our biases, the next step is to adopt strategies to counteract them. One of the best methods is to intentionally seek out diverse viewpoints. This involves exposing ourselves to ideas and information that challenge our beliefs. While it might feel a bit uncomfortable initially, it's an essential part of expanding our understanding and minimizing the influence of biases in our thought processes. Another effective way to address bias is by using structured decision-making techniques. For example, you could implement decision matrices to objectively assess different options or practice the pre-mortem technique. This approach requires you to envision a decision's failure and then work backward to identify what went wrong. By taking a systematic route, we can lessen the emotional and instinctive biases that often cloud our judgment. To truly embrace these ideas and cultivate a habit of questioning biases, regular practice is key. One helpful activity is to maintain a bias journal. Each day, make it a goal to pinpoint at least one moment when a cognitive bias may have influenced your thinking. Reflect on what type of bias it was, how it shaped your thoughts, and how you might react differently in similar situations moving forward. Another beneficial exercise is to engage in structured debates or discussions about subjects you're passionate about. Challenge yourself to argue against your own viewpoint. This can be enlightening, revealing strengths in contrary arguments and exposing potential flaws in your own stance. As you hone your skills in recognizing and challenging bias, you'll likely observe several positive changes. At a fundamental level, your awareness of your biases will grow, empowering you to pause and reassess your thoughts during critical moments. With ongoing practice, you'll naturally start to counteract biases in your decisions, actively seek diverse perspectives, and approach challenges with a more even-handed mindset. Ultimately, with mastery of these techniques, you might reach a state of near-constant objectivity. While it's unlikely that anyone can completely eliminate biases, you will develop a sharper awareness and effective methods to address them. Your ability to think in a balanced and objective manner can be greater than most, but the path to overcoming bias is filled with hurdles. One major challenge is the risk of becoming blind to our biases due to overconfidence. It's all too easy to fall into the trap of thinking we're above bias, particularly when we start recognizing these mental traps. This overconfidence can actually increase our vulnerability to biased thinking as we let our defenses down. The antidote? Regularly seek out feedback and different perspectives, especially when you feel most assured in your decisions. By embracing a mindset of humility and openness to new insights, we can continually refine our thinking and protect ourselves from overconfidence's subtle influence. Another hurdle is that biases are not mere occasional nuisances. They're integral to how our brains operate. This reality means that combating bias isn't a one-time effort, but a continuous journey of self-examination and adaptation. As we wrap up this section, ponder how gaining insight into cognitive biases could transform your thinking and decision-making approach. Consider how it might impact how you take in information, form opinions, or engage with those who see things differently. Recognizing and confronting bias is an incredibly potent skill, markedly improving the clarity and effectiveness of your thoughts. Yet addressing bias is only one facet of honing your critical thinking abilities. As you proceed, you'll uncover how this awareness interacts with other mental strategies. What emerges when we combine our capability to challenge biases with methods for broadening our perspectives? How could this reshape our problem-solving approaches and innovation? As we venture into the next chapter, get ready to expand your thinking in new ways as we examine the role of cognitive flexibility in elevating your critical thinking skills. Chapter 6: Exploring Alternatives. Have you ever felt trapped by a problem, as if you've reached an impasse? Or maybe you've made a choice only to later realize there was a far superior option you hadn't even thought of. These scenarios are all too familiar and highlight a crucial piece of critical thinking that often gets overlooked. In this chapter, we'll delve into a powerful cognitive tool that will help you navigate such situations. Improving your ability to solve problems and make decisions can come from applying a specific technique. This method not only helps you escape mental blockages, but also allows you to uncover creative solutions and make better choices. More importantly, it transforms how you tackle challenges in all areas of your life. Think back to a tricky problem you faced recently. What was your approach? Did you jump onto the first solution that struck you, or did you take a moment to consider various options? Chances are, like many others, you opted for the former. Our brains naturally prefer efficiency, often steering us towards quick fixes we're already familiar with. But imagine if I told you that this instinct, while occasionally helpful, could be hindering your ability to think outside the box. The skill of weighing different options isn't just useful, it's a key part of effective thinking. This is vital because it nurtures flexibility and creativity when addressing issues. By training ourselves to look beyond the obvious answers, we unlock a multitude of possibilities, making us more adaptable and innovative in tackling complex problems. Moreover, exploring alternatives helps guard against narrow-mindedness. It's easy to get trapped in a single way of thinking, completely missing out on potentially superior solutions. By developing a habit of considering various paths, we shield ourselves from this cognitive blind spot. So, how can we cultivate this ability? The answer lies in embracing the concepts of divergent thinking. Unlike convergent thinking, which aims to narrow down choices to a single, correct answer, divergent thinking is all about brainstorming a broad spectrum of solutions. Imagine casting a wide net that captures an array of possibilities before zeroing in on what works best. This approach offers numerous advantages. By delving into multiple avenues, you not only increase your chances of stumbling upon groundbreaking solutions, but you also gain deeper insight into the problem itself. Each alternative you evaluate can reveal new facets of the issue, contributing to more thoughtful and effective decision-making. So what are some ways to harness divergent thinking in our everyday lives? There are various strategies you can use to put this concept into action. One popular method for generating ideas is brainstorming, which is all about letting a flood of thoughts come to mind without any immediate critique. The idea is to hold off on evaluating these ideas at first, allowing even the wildest concepts to be shared. It's often these unexpected suggestions that lead to groundbreaking solutions. Another effective approach is lateral thinking, a term introduced by Edward de Bono. This technique encourages looking at problems from unusual perspectives, often by questioning common beliefs or adding random factors to the discussion. For instance, you might ponder how you'd tackle a challenge if money were no object, or imagine a solution that excludes technology entirely. These methods are just the starting point. The true strength lies in making the exploration of alternatives a regular part of your thought process. This involves training your mind to always ask, "What other options do I have?" whenever you confront a challenge or make a choice. However, simply generating ideas isn't enough. Once you've expanded your options, you must be able to assess and prioritize them effectively. Here's where setting clear evaluation criteria becomes crucial. By defining what makes a solution successful, you can methodically weigh the pros and cons of each option. It's key to find a balance between being creative and being practical during this evaluation. While it's important to remain open to original ideas, you also need to measure their feasibility and potential effects. This doesn't mean you should instantly reject concepts that seem unworkable at first glance. Often, the most creative solutions may seem improbable initially. Instead, the goal is to thoughtfully consider how each idea could be put into action and what its implications would be. To truly hone the skill of exploring alternatives, regular practice is essential. One engaging exercise is to hold group brainstorming sessions. Bring together a mix of people and present them with a specific problem or challenge. Encourage every participant to voice their ideas freely, without any fear of judgment. You might be amazed at the wealth of imaginative solutions that arise from such collaborative thinking. A valuable technique for making decisions is scenario analysis. When you're faced with a choice, try to envision several different futures based on the various options you have. Consider the consequences of each scenario and how different elements might interact. This exercise expands your thinking, allowing you to anticipate possible outcomes more effectively. As you work on this skill of exploring alternatives, you'll likely discover that generating multiple solutions to problems becomes easier. This alone can be immensely beneficial, giving you a wider range of options and decreasing the chances of missing out on promising solutions. With ongoing practice, you'll enhance your ability to evaluate different choices, becoming more adept at weighing the pros and cons while considering their potential effects from various perspectives. As you reach a higher level of mastery, you might find yourself routinely selecting the best options from a broad array of possibilities. It's important to note that this doesn't guarantee flawless decisions. Perfection is often out of reach in our complex and unpredictable world. However, you'll cultivate a sharp ability to both generate and assess alternatives, leading to choices that are consistently more informed and effective than those of many others. The journey to mastering the art of considering alternatives can pose some challenges. One major obstacle is the tendency to overlook valid options due to biases. Even when we strive to be open-minded, our preconceived notions and preferences can subtly sway the alternatives we take seriously. This is where the skills from the previous chapter about confronting bias become essential. To combat this issue, using structured evaluation frameworks can be quite helpful. Techniques like decision matrices, where you rate each alternative against your criteria, or the 6 thinking hats method, which encourages viewing problems through various lenses, can ensure you consider all alternatives fairly, not just the ones that catch your attention right away. Another hurdle is the risk of decision paralysis when faced with too many options. Having too many choices can easily lead to feeling swamped, which may result in not being able to decide or falling back to what feels comfortable and safe. It's crucial to keep in mind that your aim shouldn't be to weigh every single option out there. After all, that's an impossible task. Instead, focus on coming up with a reasonable number of varied, high-quality alternatives. Remember, it's more about the quality of options rather than the sheer number of them. As we wrap up this chapter, think about how adopting this alternative considering mindset could reshape the way you approach decision-making and problem-solving. How might it influence your ability to face challenges in your workplace, make personal choices, or engage in conversations with others? Being able to brainstorm and assess a range of possibilities is an invaluable skill that can significantly boost your critical thinking and lead to more innovative and effective solutions. But keep in mind, thinking of alternatives is just one facet of developing strong critical thinking abilities. As you progress, you'll notice how this broad way of thinking interacts with other mental strategies. What insights arise when we merge our capacity to explore options with focused, deep contemplation? How could this change our approach to learning from past experiences and refining our decision-making skills? As we move into the next chapter, get ready to dive into the transformative effects of introspection on enhancing your critical thinking capabilities. Chapter 7. Reflect deeply. Have you ever pondered why some people seem to learn and evolve from their experiences, while others keep stumbling over the same issues? Or why do certain individuals consistently make wiser choices, even when faced with complicated situations? The key lies not in raw talent or luck, but rather in a crucial cognitive ability that often gets overlooked in our busy lives. In this chapter, we'll delve into a technique that has the power to significantly improve your critical thinking and decision-making skills. It's a method that helps you uncover hidden thought patterns, learn from your experiences, and continually sharpen your mental processes. More than that, it's a route toward greater self-awareness and personal development. Think back to the last important decision you made. Did you reflect on the reasons behind your choice once it was done? Did you analyze what led you to that conclusion, the resultant outcomes, and what you might do differently next time? If you're like most, you probably rushed straight to your next obligation without much contemplation. What if I told you that taking a moment to pause and think could unlock your true potential as a thinker and decision maker? The approach we're diving into in this chapter goes beyond merely reminiscing about past events. It involves a deliberate and organized process of assessing our thoughts, actions, and their outcomes. This method, often referred to as deep reflection or reflective practice, serves as a crucial element of ongoing learning and self-improvement. So why is reflection such a vital component of clear thinking? The key lies in its ability to cultivate self-awareness and personal growth. When we dedicate time to thoughtfully consider our experiences, we uncover valuable insights into how we think, what our strengths are, and the areas where we can improve. This deep dive helps us notice patterns in our thinking and decision-making that we might otherwise overlook. Additionally, reflection sharpens our decision-making skills by enabling us to learn from our experiences. Each choice we make and each challenge we tackle present us with a chance to learn. However, without reflection, we often miss these lessons. By nurturing a habit of deep reflection, we can pull insightful lessons from our experiences and apply them moving forward. The foundations of this reflective practice come from the theories of educational expert David Kolb and philosopher Donald Schoen. They propose that learning is a cyclical journey composed of concrete experiences, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. In this cycle, reflection is essential for turning experiences into knowledge. Several models can help guide our reflection process. A popular one is the what, so what, now what framework, where we first describe the events, analyze their significance, and finally think about how to apply our new insights. Another valuable model is Gibbs' reflective cycle, which walks us through describing situations, sharing feelings, evaluating outcomes, analyzing results, drawing conclusions, and planning future actions. Regular self-reflection offers numerous advantages. It helps us pinpoint our strengths and weaknesses, understand our motivations and biases, and spot recurring patterns in our thoughts and behaviors. As we gain greater self-awareness, our decision-making improves, our problem-solving skills enhance, and our emotional intelligence grows. So how can we effectively integrate reflective habits into our everyday lives? One impactful method for personal growth is keeping a journal. By consistently jotting down our thoughts, experiences, and reflections, we create a valuable resource we can revisit to learn more about ourselves. You don't need to write for long. Just a few focused minutes each day can lead to significant insights. When you journal with the intention of reflection, aim to do more than just summarize what happened. Challenge yourself with questions that dig deeper. Why did I choose this path? What beliefs influenced my choices? How did my feelings shape my thoughts? What alternative actions could I have taken? Exploring these questions can unveil important lessons that inform your future choices. Another effective way to reflect is to dedicate specific weekly sessions for a deep dive into your past experiences and decisions. You might follow a structured model to steer your thoughts, or come up with your own set of questions to guide your exploration. As you make reflection a regular practice, you may notice recurring patterns in how you think and decide. For instance, you might discover that you often rush decisions when feeling stressed, or that you tend to overlook certain details. Recognizing these tendencies is essential because it empowers you to address them proactively in similar situations moving forward. The true value of reflection emerges when we apply what we've learned to our future choices. This could mean setting specific improvement goals, creating strategies to tackle identified weaknesses, or intentionally using lessons from past experiences in new contexts. By consistently doing this, you establish a cycle of ongoing growth in your thinking and decision-making. To make deep reflection a part of your routine, engaging in regular practices can be beneficial. A great start is daily journaling for self-assessment. Spend a few moments each day writing about your experiences and thoughts. Over time, you'll compile a rich archive of your cognitive journey to review and learn from. Another useful practice is joining reflection circles, group sessions where participants discuss their experiences and share insights. This collaborative form of reflection can provide fresh perspectives and ideas that you might not have considered on your own. As you embark on honing your skills in deep reflection, you'll likely observe several noteworthy benefits. At its core, you'll find that your self-awareness increases significantly. You'll gain a better grip on your thought patterns, recognize your strengths, and identify areas where you can grow. This heightened awareness is incredibly valuable, empowering you to make more thoughtful decisions and act more effectively. With regular practice, you'll also become adept at learning from your past experiences. You'll likely find it easier to draw meaningful lessons from both your successes and setbacks, applying these insights to new challenges. This enhanced learning ability can greatly accelerate your development in critical thinking and decision-making skills. At the pinnacle of mastery, you might reach a point where your ability to refine your thought processes becomes almost instinctual. You'll cultivate such a refined skill in reflecting on your experiences that your thinking sharpens over time. While achieving perfection is unrealistic, mistakes will still happen. You'll be equipped to learn and grow from each encounter, continuously enhancing your cognitive prowess. However, the journey toward mastering deep reflection isn't without its hurdles. One common trap is falling into shallow reflection that fails to yield meaningful insights. It's all too easy to get caught up in merely recounting events without exploring their deeper significance or consequences. To combat this, consider setting clear goals for your reflections. Ask yourself what you aim to learn or which specific aspects of your thinking need improvement. Defining these objectives can guide you toward deeper, more impactful analysis instead of surface-level assessments. Another challenge is carving out time for regular reflection in our hectic lives. It may seem like a luxury we can't afford when juggling various responsibilities. Yet it's crucial to recognize that reflection is not separate from our daily lives. It's a vital component of our learning and growth. Just a few focused minutes of reflection each day can lead to substantial benefits over time. As we wrap up this chapter, think about how integrating deep reflection into your routine could transform your learning approach. Making choices can profoundly shape how we experience life, tackle challenges, and reflect on our actions. The capacity for deep reflection acts as a significant asset, significantly boosting our critical thinking abilities and promoting ongoing personal and professional development. However, it's essential to recognize that reflection is just one part of a broader strategy in honing strong critical thinking skills. As you continue your journey, you'll uncover how reflective practices interact with various cognitive methods. What happens when we merge our capacity to reflect thoughtfully with the courage to make firm decisions? How does this shift our approach to intricate problems and critical choices? In the upcoming chapter, gear up to investigate the subtle interplay between contemplation and action and learn to harness the strength of confident decision-making as part of your critical thinking journey. Chapter 8. Decide with confidence. Have you ever found yourself paralyzed by indecision, mulling over countless options without settling on any? Or perhaps you've made hasty choices, only to later wish you'd thought them through more carefully. These experiences underscore a vital element of critical thinking that many grapple with, the skill of making decisive choices. In this chapter, we'll delve into a skill that can revolutionize your approach to problem-solving and decision-making. This ability bridges the gap between contemplation and action, empowering you to proceed with clarity and confidence. More than just a practical skill, This mindset enables you to face complicated scenarios with assurance. Think back to a significant decision you had to make recently. How did you handle it? Did you find yourself stuck in a cycle of endless evaluation, hesitant to choose a path? Or maybe you jumped into a decision too quickly, only to regret it later? If any of this resonates with you, rest assured, you're not alone. Many people wrestle with striking the right balance between thorough evaluation and taking decisive actions. Being able to make confident choices isn't simply a handy trait. It's a cornerstone of effective critical thinking. Why is this so important? Because when we trust ourselves to make wise decisions, we're more inclined to act with purpose and follow through until the end. Additionally, having confidence in our decision-making can help eliminate feelings of being overwhelmed. In today's fast-paced world, the skill to make quick and sound decisions is incredibly important. This ability empowers us to grab opportunities, tackle challenges, and navigate through complicated situations with greater confidence and efficiency. But how can we enhance this skill? The secret lies in understanding decision-making theories, which emphasize finding the right balance between analyzing information and taking action. On one end of the spectrum, there's the problem of analysis paralysis, where we get so bogged down in gathering data and evaluating choices that we find ourselves unable to make a call. On the flip side, there's impulsive behavior, making hasty choices without enough consideration. While snap decisions may be necessary at times, relying on them too often can lead to unfortunate consequences and lost chances. To strike a balance, our aim should be to engage in enough thoughtful analysis to feel informed while avoiding the trap of indecision. We want to act with conviction rather than out of impulse. So, how can we find this middle ground? A great method is to use structured decision-making techniques. These methods help organize our thoughts and allow for a systematic evaluation of our choices. One helpful tool is the decision matrix, where we list options alongside the criteria for evaluation, scoring each option against these criteria. This technique allows for an objective comparison of complex choices and can guide us towards a well-thought-out conclusion. Another straightforward yet effective approach is the classic pros and cons list. By explicitly considering the positive and negative aspects of each option, this method ensures we don't overlook important details, leading to a more balanced decision-making process. However, employing these tools is just one part of the whole picture. To make confident choices, we need to build trust in our decision-making abilities. This doesn't mean assuming that every decision will be flawless, but instead, it's about having confidence in our capacity to make sound choices and learn from the results. Developing this trust involves acknowledging that decision-making is a skill honed through experience. Each choice we make adds to our learning and helps us become better at it over time. We have a great chance to improve and fine-tune our decision-making process by taking a closer look at our choices, both the ones that worked out and those that didn't go as expected. By doing this reflection, we can draw important lessons that help guide our future decisions. It's also crucial to understand that making decisions with confidence doesn't mean we're always right. Rather, it's about making a commitment to a decision based on the best knowledge we have at the moment, while staying flexible enough to adapt when new information comes our way. To build the habit of making confident decisions, it's vital to practice regularly. A fun way to do this is through role-playing different decision scenarios. This technique allows us to visualize or recreate challenging situations and tackle them as if they were real. Practicing in a low-pressure setting like this helps sharpen our decision-making skills without the stress of real-life stakes. Another great practice is joining decision-making workshops. These collaborative sessions give us the chance to engage with others, share ideas, and learn from various strategies that we might not have thought of by ourselves. As you work on becoming more confident in your decision-making abilities, you'll start to notice some positive changes. For starters, you'll feel more confident about everyday choices and find yourself second-guessing less often. With continued effort, you'll gain the skill to make informed decisions even when faced with tough or high-pressure situations. You'll become quicker at evaluating options, making choices, and sticking to your decisions. This improved ability can lead to better outcomes in both your personal life and professional settings. With enough practice, you may evolve to a level where you can seamlessly balance analysis and action. At this stage, you'll have a sharp knack for gathering and processing information, weighing your choices effectively, and making quick, decisive actions. While you might still encounter difficult decisions or make the occasional mistake, after all, nobody's perfect. You'll handle decision-making with a skill level and confidence that makes you stand out from the crowd. Ultimately, this journey toward enhanced decision-making prowess is one that pays off in countless ways. Navigating the world of confident decision-making can be tricky, with one of the major hurdles being the danger of overestimating our own abilities. As we gain more assurance in our decision-making skills, it's easy to slip into the assumption that we can do no wrong. This mindset can lead to hasty choices or neglecting crucial elements. To mitigate this risk, it's important to frequently evaluate and refine how we make decisions. This may include taking time to reflect on our approaches, asking for input from others, or analyzing past decisions to glean lessons from both our successes and missteps. By committing to ongoing improvement, we can enjoy the perks of confidence while steering clear of its downsides. Another aspect that complicates decision-making is managing our emotions. Even with a systematic approach in place, decisions are often fraught with uncertainty and risk. It's essential to learn how to cope with the stress and worry that can arise from making significant choices, as this skill is vital for developing robust decision-making capabilities. As we wrap up this chapter, take a moment to reflect on how adopting a confident decision-making style might alter your approach to life's challenges and opportunities. Consider how it could influence your response to complicated issues, sudden surprises, or the pursuit of your ambitions. The ability to make decisions with conviction is an invaluable asset, one that can dramatically increase your effectiveness and success across various aspects of life. However, confident decision-making is merely one component in honing effective critical thinking skills. As we progress forward, you will uncover the relationship between making confident choices and other cognitive strategies. What happens when we pair our decisiveness with a comprehensive way of thinking and living? How could this shift the manner in which we handle the intricate realities of our world and chase our dreams? As we venture into the final chapter, prepare to delve into how all these key thinking skills converge to cultivate a lifestyle rooted in clear, effective thought processes that can revolutionize every facet of your life. Chapter 9. Live critically. It's time to take a step back and appreciate the bigger picture. Throughout our journey, we've examined a variety of tactics for enhancing our critical thinking abilities, from confronting our biases to making well-founded decisions. Yet, the true strength of these skills stretches far beyond the individual steps we've outlined. It's not just about the individual techniques we learn. It's about how these skills come together to reshape our entire approach to life. Living critically means more than just constantly dissecting every little detail of our lives. Instead, it's about cultivating a mindset that helps us handle the complexities of our world with clarity, intention, and effectiveness. It's about weaving critical thinking into the very fabric of who we are. Think back to how you faced challenges and decisions before diving into this book. Now picture an upgraded version of yourself, fully embracing these critical thinking skills in everything you do. How would this version of you tackle problems? How would they communicate with others? What steps would they take to chase after their dreams? The journey we've embarked on together is not merely about picking up new skills. It's about equipping you to evolve into that more capable individual. One who can confidently traverse intricate situations and make thoughtful choices, no matter the context. One of the most significant transformations you'll notice is a newfound confidence when confronted with complex issues. Where you once might have felt lost in a web of challenges, you now possess a toolkit filled with strategies to methodically tackle them. You're able to observe attentively, ask insightful questions, spot patterns, challenge your own biases, explore different options, reflect carefully, and make choices with confidence. This thorough approach empowers you to deconstruct even the most intimidating scenarios into smaller, digestible parts. Plus, Your improved decision-making prowess will benefit you across all facets of your life, be it choosing a career path, making personal decisions, or addressing workplace hurdles. You now have the tools to gather essential information, analyze it critically, and reach well-founded conclusions. While it doesn't guarantee flawless decisions, no one can achieve that. It does mean you can engage in decision-making with heightened clarity and confidence. But the influence of critical thinking goes beyond just solving problems and making choices. It can significantly enhance your relationships as well. By honing your critical listening skills, truly tuning in to what others are saying, evaluating their viewpoints, and posing thoughtful questions, you can strengthen your communication. This results in a richer understanding of each other, fewer misunderstandings, and connections that are more meaningful. Engaging in critical thinking not only enhances your self-awareness and empathy, but also fosters more meaningful and compassionate connections with others. By acknowledging your own biases and being open to different viewpoints, you can better understand and value perspectives that might contrast with yours. This kind of understanding can significantly improve your personal and professional relationships. As you embed critical thinking into your everyday life, you'll likely notice that tasks and challenges that once felt overwhelming will start to appear as interesting puzzles waiting to be solved. Instead of feeling daunted by complexity, you'll be able to break issues down into smaller, more manageable parts, tackling each one step by step. This clarity of thought also enhances your leadership capabilities. Whether you are guiding a team at work, steering a community initiative, or simply navigating your own life's path, having solid critical thinking skills empowers you to lead with assurance. You'll be capable of thoroughly analyzing situations, making sound choices, and clearly communicating your vision to others. One of the most thrilling aspects of embracing critical thinking as a way of life is how it becomes easier over time. As you revisit the principles discussed in this book, you'll find that the practice of critical thinking starts to feel instinctual. What once demanded concentrated effort will gradually integrate into your natural way of processing information and tackling problems. This isn't to say that your growth will come to a standstill. In fact, as critical thinking becomes a fundamental part of your thought process, you'll find yourself equipped to address more intricate challenges with ease. You'll accomplish more while spending less mental energy on the basics of analysis, leading to a productive cycle of growth and success. With the enhancement of your critical thinking abilities, you'll become more effective in all your pursuits. This success reinforces the importance of critical thinking, inspiring you to apply these skills with even greater regularity. Over time, you'll accomplish a lot more with increased efficiency across various aspects of your life. Ultimately, perhaps the most significant benefit of living with critical awareness is the clarity and purpose it imparts to your journey in a world full of complexity. Life often feels like a whirlwind, overflowing with chaos and stress. In the midst of this, critical thinking emerges as a vital tool, helping you navigate through the complexities around you. It enables you to sift through the noise and find clarity, allowing you to focus on what truly counts and make choices that resonate with your values and aspirations. This clarity also extends to your self-awareness. By engaging in self-reflection and questioning your biases, you'll uncover deeper insights about your own thoughts, desires, and actions. This heightened self-awareness lays the groundwork for personal growth and a more fulfilling life. As we wrap up this book, I want to inspire you with a vision of what's achievable when you wholeheartedly adopt critical thinking as a lifestyle. Picture this. Each morning, you wake up with a clear mind, primed to meet life's challenges head-on. Instead of feeling anxious about problems, you face them with curiosity and confidence. Your interactions with others are filled with openness rather than judgment, fostering understanding. In your career, you're recognized for your thoughtful contributions and wise decision-making. You have an uncanny ability to spot connections and opportunities that others overlook, leading you to innovative solutions and a steady rise in your profession. On the personal front, your relationships thrive on profound understanding and meaningful dialogue. While you're not perfect, none of us are, you wield the tools necessary to learn from every encounter. Setbacks transform into chances for reflection and growth, while your successes provide valuable lessons for the future. What's truly empowering is the sense of agency you cultivate in your life. Rather than feeling tossed around by circumstances, you gain the ability to navigate life's challenges with intent and direction. Instead of merely reacting to what happens around you, you take an active role in shaping your journey. This is the essence of living critically. It's about elevating your thinking and enhancing your life. It means embracing a lifestyle filled with clarity, intention, and effectiveness. It's a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself while positively influencing the world around you. As you close this book, remember that this marks the beginning of your adventure, not the end. The skills and strategies we've discussed are your toolkit, and like any tools, their effectiveness increases with regular use. Keep practicing critical thinking in your everyday life. Seek ways to apply these skills, reflect on your experiences, and continuously hone your capabilities. Embracing the journey of critical thinking means committing to ongoing growth and discovery. Each day presents a chance to observe, question, analyze, and make informed choices. Take hold of these moments. Let your curiosity fuel a deeper understanding of the world and allow your critical thinking skills to steer you toward wiser decisions. You hold within you the power to achieve remarkable growth and success, and the skills you've developed are your keys to unlocking that potential. Utilize them consistently, and you will witness a transformation not just in your thought process, but in your entire way of life. Remember, every great journey starts with a single action, and you've already taken that brave first step. Now, equipped with your critical thinking abilities, it's time to confidently pursue the future you imagine. The world around you is intricate and filled with both challenges and opportunities. With your sharpened perspective, you are ready to confront whatever lies ahead. Move forward and think critically. Your path to a richer, more meaningful life is just beginning. As you put these critical thinking skills into practice, you may encounter situations that test your clarity, particularly when emotions run high. How do you maintain your critical edge in these intense moments? The secret lies in mastering essential techniques that will allow you to effectively apply critical thinking in all areas of your life. Explore the vital strategies found in the audiobook, Stay Calm, Think Smart, The Art of Critical Thinking in Difficult Situations. Tap into the center of the video now to advance your transformative journey.